So for the first time since his historic landslide butt-kicking win on Election Day 2024, Donald J. Trump yesterday at the place that he once called, and will be able to call again, the White House South, Mar-A-Lago in beautiful West Palm Beach, had a press conference. Talked about what's going on in the world and how it's affecting the United States of America and how he's going to propose his remedies as solutions to these problems once he officially takes office on January 20th, 25 at the inauguration in the nation's capital. As we speak, they're doing work. There you see it, to doll up D.C. And by the way, yours truly, I'll be there at the inauguration covering it for Red Dawn Media. I cannot wait. And boy, was I happy to see a real president back at the podium yesterday. A president that has cognitive, motor skills intact, could speak extemporaneously about all subjects, could face the media, take on their questions, and extemporaneously, off the cuff, be able to express himself and speak intelligently, sensibly, and confidently, instead of some shuffling, demented schmuck who can barely speak off the cuff, let alone speak off a teleprompter. In other words, you bet I am counting my lucky blessings and counting the time on the clock with the seconds, minutes, days, weeks till Joe Biden and that disgusting family of his and his Gestapo gets the boot from the White House. It can't come soon enough. Anyway, I want to share some excerpts from the press conference yesterday and just a few of the areas that Trump touched on, and also I'll give you some questions that the media asked him at the end, and of course I'll fill it in with some thoughts. Even though I've done that so far, I'm going to keep doing it. It's America. It's my right. Let freedom of speech live on. Thank goodness. We will have our Constitution protected at least for the next 4 years. So the first subject that Trump spoke to America and the media about yesterday was preaching peace through strength. We've got wars all over the world. Take a listen to DJT.
We're trying to help very strongly in getting the hostages back, as you know, with Israel and the Middle East. We're working very much on that. We're trying to get the war stopped, that horrible war that's going on in Ukraine, with Russia, Ukraine. We're going to, we've got a little progress. It's a tough one. It's a nasty one. It's nasty. People are being killed at levels that nobody's ever seen.
And isn't it funny? I mean, I've beat this one up, and I'm not the first one, not the last one to say it. But it's amazing. His first term, 2016 through 20, as the 45th president, all the rad left, and the Dems could say, and the libtards, lefties, he's going to cause wars. He's going to bring on World War III. Look where we are now. No wars happened on Trump's watch. Facts. And I believe there'll be peace, again, through strength in the world, in the United States and beyond, all pockets and corners of the world, with POTUS 47 on watch. Because the world knows Trump don't play. Meanwhile, this is supposed to be a peaceful transition from the Biden to Trump administration, right? Well, Donald J. Trump has two separate requests for Joe Biden before he leaves office. Take a look and listen for yourselves.
One of the things I'd like to ask the Biden administration, as you probably heard, there are two events that took place. We're talking about a friendly takeover, a friendly transition, as they like to say. This is a friendly transition, and it is, but there are two events that took place that I think are very terrible. One is that if people don't come back to work, come back into the office, they're going to be dismissed. And somebody in the Biden administration gave a 5-year waiver of that so that for 5 years, people don't have to come back into the office. It involved 49,000 people. For 5 years, they don't have to go. They just signed this thing. It's ridiculous. So it was like a gift to a union. and we're going to obviously be in court to stop it. The other thing is really terrible. We spent a tremendous amount of money on building the wall. The wall was designed specifically by the Border Patrol because it's very hard to climb. And now it's about double the price of what it would have been 6 years ago. And the administration is trying to sell it for 5 cents on the dollar, knowing that we're getting ready to put it up. And what they're doing is really an act. It's almost a criminal act.
No surprise. Biden gives in to the union, allows them to keep working 5 more years remotely. Anything to hurt America. I'm sure those workers are much better in office, but he gave in to them to make life more difficult for Trump, as he did by selling those segments and pieces of the border wall. As Trump explained, what a bunch of scumbags this administration is from day one to the last day in office. Anything to spite Trump, regardless if it's going to cost the American taxpayers more money and it's going to harm the safety of Americans. Next, one of the finer points that had me voting for Trump was to regain the energy independence that America gained when Trump left office in 2020. America was energy independent for the first time in 75 years. We all know how the prices at the pump have gone up and increased as the Biden administration has gone on. Not only that, but the prices of energy, my electric bill through the roof. I'm sick of talking about it as much as I'm sick of paying for it. So you bet I can't wait for America to drill, baby, drill. Talk about it, Donald J. Trump.
We'll soon unleash American energy, and this will be done at levels not seen before, issuing quick approvals for pipelines, drilling, and other infrastructure. It'll be clean energy, and we'll bring in the price of electricity, and we're going to bring it down fast. We're also going to create clean coal. Clean coal is something that has really taken over. We have coal that will last for over 1,000 years. We have so much coal, and with a process, it becomes clean coal. It's very powerful energy, unlike wind.
And the energy situation, a big one that Trump's going to have to fix again. He's also going to have to take care of the economy. It's a mess. The U.S. has trillions upon trillions of dollars of debt to pay off. Another issue that POTUS to be 47 addresses.
We're paying off a tremendous amount of debt. We're $36 trillion. You don't want to be there. And we're going to be using a lot of the money that we make. We're going to be opening up a lot of businesses that are going to be pouring in because of our tax policy.
A lot of work. A lot of work for Donald Trump and his crew. And J.D. Vance and the rest of them, they're going to have their hands full. We got a big old mess to clean up to make America great again, right? Well, Trump also, like I said, took questions from the media. What a relief it was to see that. Even if you don't like the president, hence Obama, he stood there like a president. He was presidential, and he took questions from the media, as did Trump yesterday. And again, it was good to see for the first time in about 4 years. Here's a couple of those questions that the media fired away at Trump. The first one was, would Trump give a pardon to embattled Democrat Mayor Eric Adams of New York City?
Yeah.
Would you consider pardoning Eric Adams?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly.
Very interesting. You know, Adams was a longtime Republican. And Trump did say, when he started making the remarks to Biden and the powers to be at the immigration situation becoming incorrigible in New York City, that's when Biden's Gestapo went to work with indictments against Eric Adams and painted him into a corner. Trump knows that situation, knows exactly how it feels to be the victim of weaponization by Biden's DOJ. So, you can cross party lines with Eric Adams. He might just give the mayor a reprieve. That's fascinating what's going on with that story. The other question that the media fired away at President Trump, the drones.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you shoot them down?
They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Fascinating, right? Trump gives you the answer that we've all been seeking. As these things, again, I put a couple of videos up if you want to check them out on the Red Dawn Media channel, if you haven't already. By the way, please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I put a couple of videos up about the drones and just the astonishment that, you know, anyone would believe Alejandro Mayorkas late last week on saying that, you know, this isn't dangerous and the American government has your back and these aren't a danger to the public. And, you know, it's a figment of folks' imagination. They're stars, they're airplanes, right? BS. Trump calls BS on them too, but yet he won't tip his card and say he knows what they are from the briefings he gets from the intelligence. So that's, you know, what he has to do. But he knows it's all BS and something's going on, even though he says it's not a foreign adversary, which I definitely am believing. Up till this point, I believed it's pretty much the Iranians. But again, I just want to share a little bit from that presser yesterday. That conference went about 90 minutes. But the underlying theme, as I said earlier, for me, it's great that the president-elect, 47, Donald J. Trump, is addressing all these areas. And he's sharing everything and all the problems that are on our plates as an American and the mess he had to inherit. But really what I get out of it, it's great to see a real president back in charge. And the world knows Trump don't play. He's going to make America great again. And he's going to bring back respect to the United States. And as I've said and keep on saying, January 20th, 2025 cannot come soon enough.